Cleveland faithful, welcome back into the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. Before we get into this video, hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed down below, and tell your favorite Cleveland sports fan friend to get on the Cleveland Pulse bandwagon as well. So I'm scrolling social media, I'm scrolling YouTube shorts, come across another Cleveland content creator, Cleveland sports content creator, and it's a short, and his premise of the short was, we are currently living in the golden era of Cleveland sports. Now, not being old enough to remember some of the other eras of the city, obviously, whether it be the 80s or the 90s or even further back, it got me thinking, hey, what is kind of the best time that I've been alive and remember as far as being a fan of all of the Cleveland sports? Now, the argument that this content creator made was that all three major sports teams are good or going to be good: Browns, Guardians, and the Cavaliers. And that got me thinking, obviously, for anyone who's been paying attention, for anyone who's been a fan for a considerable amount of time, for the last, almost decade, my mind automatically went to 2016. Now, I will say, before we kind of get into some of the numbers, just the comparison here, more of a fun video today, but just getting into the comparison of when I think probably was the best time to be a Cleveland sports fan, the golden era, so to say, in recent memory versus right now. I do understand the Browns are weighted so heavily in the city. People say blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. It is a football town. And that doesn't always get reflected because of some of the track record with the Browns, especially the century. But it's interesting to look back and see, hey, 2015, 2016 versus right now. I think it's really interesting. I think that there's kind of a debate to be had here. So I'm curious what you guys have to say in the comments below. And yeah, so just think about it. Think about the big three, of course: basketball, baseball, football, starting with the Browns. To jog your memory, obviously 11-6 last year, had a lot of differences at the quarterback position, really made a lot out of nothing as far as last year's season. Go down in fiery defeat in the first round against the Houston Texans. Pretty much a terrible performance in the first round, but you get a playoff game as far as being a Cleveland Browns fan. Obviously a huge win. Now the Cavs improving, yearly, something that you could say 51-31 last year. They're the 4th seed in the East. They take on the Orlando Magic in that first round series. They get the win in 7 games, hard fought series, got to battle through some injuries. And then we go out in 5 games in the second round. So as far as what you're talking about so far, this year's resume: Browns playoff win, Cavs playoff series win, and then the Cleveland Guardians, obviously right now, first place in the American League Central, 4.5 games above the Minnesota Twins, nearly at that 20 games above 500 mark at 63-42. I don't even really think they've been playing good baseball as of late, since right before the All-Star break and up until now, but they are in prime position to not only win the division, but be in the playoffs and hopefully make a run at that World Series trophy. Now, let me rewind your memory. Let me go all the way back for you. And I hate to start this way because this is why I think people are going to say this is the golden era of Cleveland sports right now, 2023 to 24 to 25. I believe I have to disagree just because of the sheer magnitude and just everything that happened in 2016. If you're on social media, if you're in with the know, people everywhere, they're not even Cleveland fans. They go, take me back to 2016. 2016, one of the best years of my life. Listen, Cleveland sports franchises literally made that happen, made it a reality. People don't even know. That's just my opinion, but little theory there. But 2016, an absolutely insane year for sports, however you want to slice it. But starting with the Browns, the 2015 team under Mike Pettin, 3-13. And I know that's people going to say, well, if the Browns are good, it kind of makes up for everything else and they're weighted heavier. I understand. The Browns in 2016, 1-15. So in between those 2 years, 4 total wins. I get it. I understand. That's a tough hole for me to climb over. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my argument's flawless. It's absolutely not. The Browns were abysmal those years. Tough to watch. Still tune in every Sunday, but very difficult. Not much to look forward to. This regime and this administration, the Browns, light years better, but I think everybody knows, besides that, what was going down in the city. And still some heartbreak to go. That's the name of the game here. That's Cleveland for you. There's going to be some heartbreak, but that makes the wins, the dubs, the trophies, well, the trophy so far, but hopefully the future trophies, that much more sweet. Everybody knows what happened with the Cleveland Indians that year. They won the AL Central. They won the divisional series, swept the Boston Red Sox in the AL Championship Series, won in 5 games over the Toronto Blue Jays. And that is some of the most epic baseball in the city ever. 3 straight wins against Boston. Then in the second round, you win 4 out of 5. So you're 7-1 through 4 games or through 2 series. And then you have a 3-1 lead against the Chicago Cubs. End up blowing it, but that's kind of what takes it away from me, I think. If they would have won the World Series that year, there was no doubt, no debate. Nothing is beating the 2016, calendar year for Cleveland sports. There's no talking about it. There's no discussing. But the 3 wins against Boston, the 4 wins against Toronto, and then eminently the 3 wins against the Cubs, some of the best, most exciting, fun baseball to watch ever. Plain out, simple. Don't get the job done. They were 94-67 that year, so almost won 100 games. And then everybody knows the deal from there as far as not only the Eastern Conference 1 seed, Cleveland Cavaliers 57-25, but the most historic comeback in pro sports, championship history, the 3-1 comeback of the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Golden State Warriors. Absolutely epic, playoffs. Absolutely just you can't even, there's nothing else to say about it. I mean, the whole playoff run as a whole, just something that, can't be overstated, that can't be talked about enough. Swept Detroit in the first round. Then we sweep Atlanta in the second round. So 8 straight wins. Takes us 6 games to defeat Toronto. Whatever. No worries. Never was a doubt there. And that was just the most epic part about that part of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball and what bothers me about this team today. And I understand LeBron James changes the equation. But back then, from opening night, everyone was hyped for opening night, but everybody from the top down of the organization to the fans to the casual people who watch 10 Cavs games a year knew the expectations. We're getting to the finals. And there was never any doubt. The expectations were through the roof. The team performed accordingly. That's what I wish that the Cavs fans of now and this Cavalier team that we're looking at currently would adopt. Hey, we're going to the finals, nothing else. Not, hopefully we have a more competitive, first round. Hopefully we win a series. Hopefully we play Boston well. No, the expectation is the finals. You have the players to do it. Get the job done. You do. But I digress. Obviously, the 3-1 comeback against the Golden State Warriors in the finals. Best NBA Finals ever, in my opinion. I don't see how you could argue that, but obviously quite biased. So, the golden era of Cleveland sports, would you say 2024 and 2025 could top that? Are the Guardians going to make a run, maybe end up in the World Series? Can the Cavs make the finals next year? Do the Browns have a chance to go to the Super Bowl? I'm here to listen to all of your arguments and all of your points, and I don't think I could disagree with you. I think all 3 major sports teams in the city right now have an opportunity to go and win a championship right now. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying we're going to be the front runners for it, but it's just a reality of the situation. Thought it was kind of a fun video today, trying to get some content out, kind of in the lull of NBA offseason and just waiting for basically the Browns season to roll around. But appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe down below. Let me know, golden era 2016 now. Want to hear your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.